not much to say about this hero that we haven't already said. He is very aggressive, can play a very early mid-game kind of tempo, is quite flexible. The one thing that comes to mind is I did look at Nine's Dota buff, and he actually has played it mid a couple of times. So looking at the Spirit Breaker, we shouldn't just assume that it's going to be a 4 or even a 3. This definitely can be a mid Spirit Breaker. So.
Yeah, I honestly think in the current patch, Spirit Breaker, you can make a case that he can play all 5 roles. Carry is probably the weakest on average, I would say, but even that is possible if the matchups are good enough. In this case, Nigma Galaxy first picking Weaver is pretty straightforward. It's a very meta hero right now. It's been banned a lot. It's rated highly because it's a flex pick. It has a save that it can build with the Ags. It does a lot of damage. It helps killing Roche. There's just so many many positive things about it. But the matchup against Spirit Breaker is pretty rough. Weaver relies a lot on, over time, just slowly whittling away at waves with Shukuchi, or getting in and out of fights. And Spirit Breaker punishes you really fast and easy when he sees you.
Yeah, and there you go. They've already made it more synergistic with the Beastmaster pick. Obviously, he's going to benefit very greatly from all the minus armor from the Swarm. He's going to get a unit with his helm, going to have all that attack speed. So losing all of that armor is going to add a lot of DPS. If this is potentially a Weaver and Beastmaster lane. Or just even later on in the game, they don't have to be on the same lane together.
Right, Weaver could even be a 5 if that's something Kuro wants to do. We've seen some teams like Secret do that. And like you said, if you build a strategy around this with, say, a carry of the type like Terrorblade or something like that, then both having the minus armor from Weaver and Beastmaster's aura means you can effectively play a 1-core lineup if that 1 core has good enough conditions in the game. I think illusion carries are a very good way for Nigma to think right now. Those are the two heroes that Tundra is showing right now don't fare too well against illusion-based carries. Spirit Breaker can with farm, but until he has that farm, I think Terrorblade has a pretty good matchup in this game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The only threat that an illusion-based carry would run into is just kind of those early invasions or early ganks that a Spirit Breaker can lead, like the smokes, the fiend grips, things like that. But so far, Nigma Galaxy's draft gives them strong lanes, and it gives them very easy Roche later on in the game, whereas we look at Tundra's draft, and they have more of a pick-off-oriented lineup so far. Bane actually quite strong in lane versus Weaver and Beastmaster, so he should be fine, regardless of who they put him versus.
Tundra still has the option of also playing the Bane 4 if they do want to change things up a little bit. We know Fata likes to play some off-brand, or whatever you want to call it, 5s sometimes. And with Spirit Breaker being a possible mid or 3, the Bane isn't even necessarily laning there. But I agree, I think he would feel fine about it, playing against Beast or Weaver or both.
I can actually see that happening just because of Fata's playstyle. And the most interesting thing to me about Tundra as a team is, typically when you think of a very active mid laner, someone like Nine, it's usually their 4 position who's playing with them, setting up their runes, going around and ganking with them. But on Tundra, it's actually not. It's always Fata playing with 9, and Snaking plays a more greedy 4, more farm-oriented kind of 4. So it's really interesting how Tundra already have that shift in dynamics. So what's Cinder inside could very well end up happening. And I think we did see Team Tickles play pause for Bane Sheaver. Was it Tofu?
I believe it was Tofu, but it isn't. Yeah, because he had a fantastic showing.
Yeah, he had an excellent game on his pause for
Mind Control really likes what he's seeing right now.
It looks like he's thinking, actually.
They have their thinking face.
You made it sound like he never does that.
It is good.
It looks like he's thinking, actually.
See that they're on location. Also, look at how cozy. They have a fireplace. Behind GH, there's a fireplace. Real cozy.
GH looks kind of...
He's in thought. On the other side, by the way, we talked to Tundra. They also are at boot camp, but they're still separated. I believe some of them are separated anyways to have a quarantine period done. So they're not yet done with that.
Snaking already has the trash can ready here for Nigma Galaxy later.
Jeez, harsh. Biased panelist?
What do you mean biased? I think every team wants to put the other team in the trash.
Sure.
And if there's one guy you want to put in the trash, it's Kuro, because he is the trash. What was that meme again?
Collector?
Is it? What would you call him?
Garbage man?
Garbage man. There it is. Garbage man Kuro. Man, that joke could have been better with some better delivery. Oh, I need to step it up.
It really could
I
have.
thought it was a fine joke.
It didn't work.
It was a very acceptable
Thank you, Effie. Effie liked it, Shiver.
Oh, I'm very happy that Effie liked it.
Yeah, so they... Why did you say it like that?
Because
You say it as if I don't have a sense of humor.
Effie's really funny. She likes my jokes.
I do like your jokes. I just want people to know that I laugh a lot at everything because I get nervous, so I laugh.
She laughs extra much at me, though.
But I do laugh extra much at Sindern because he's funny.
Or he makes you nervous. You just admitted to that.
Because his brain is so big.
That's got to be it. I can't think of any other reason.
Okay, I just want to point out that they banned out Batrider and Queen of Pain on the side of Tundra eastwards. These are simpler to play mid-heroes for those who don't main the mid lane. RMN's go-to mid-hero is actually Batrider, so already his pool has kind of been target banned, unfortunately. And this is very reminiscent for me of ESL 1 Fall, where PSG LGD had to play with Zhao 8. And he only had a hero pool of 3 heroes. He had like Pangolier, Spirit Breaker, sometimes Batrider, I think. And just because of that, it made it so that PSG LGD's drafts were very one-dimensional compared to what they usually are. So that's what I'm a bit worried about for Nigma. What I don't want to see is a mid-dazzle again.
Yeah.
I think an added benefit to banning Bat and Quap as well is that it's 2 of the better mid-heroes against Monkey King, both in the lane and in the game. So I think this way Tundra also keep their options open still. Like all 3 of their heroes play multiple roles. Bane is the most pigeonholed one, only playing 4 and 5, but Spirit Breaker and Monkey King could be literally everywhere right now. So it makes it difficult for Nigma Galaxy to kind of commit to lanes. I would imagine you want to pick a mid-hero that fares well against these 2 melee heroes, but you don't know if that's the ultimate matchup you're going to get anyway. Warlock pickup. This hero for me is very one-dimensional. It's one of the most one-dimensional heroes in the entire game. He's good at one thing, basically, and that's team fighting. He's not particularly good at wave clear. He's okay. He's not good at skirmishes at all. His laning is kind of mediocre. But when you couple it with Luna, it's strong. It's totally fine.
It's so strong lane because you can Fatal Bonds the wave, push it out, pull, just little things like that. You can also spam heal on Luna. But yeah, I look at Warlock as a heal dispenser and then Fatal Bonds later on in the game. That's why typically when you see a Warlock, you pair him up with something that can do a lot of AoE damage. And Luna is a hero that does a lot of AoE damage with her glaives. It's not typically the Lush Rock Warlock type of combos we've seen in the past, but it can work. The only thing I don't like about Warlock here is, like Sindern said, he's one-dimensional, but he is a slower type of hero, and when I think about Beastmaster playing tempo, pushing these towers early on, maybe playing for these objectives whenever they can, Warlock doesn't necessarily fit the bill, right? He's just got that golem every 2 minutes?
It's longer. It's 3.
2.5 minutes?
I think it's actually 3, isn't it? 180,
Incredibly
I think.
long
It's a really long cooldown. 165 or something, maybe.
So it's very limiting in that regard, but if they do pick and choose their fights and just play on this golem timing, I can see it working out. It just feels very limiting, I suppose.
Yeah, the concern I always have with Warlock is, are you able to force the 5-man? That's kind of what it feels like to me with this hero, is if you ever get into this state in the game where the lanes just get pushed out and people start making skirmishes all over, your hero just feels lost a lot of the time. And you chose to pick Warlock into both Spirit Breaker and Monkey King, who are like super mobile, great skirmish heroes. So I kind of feel like you've set the stage now for you have one game plan that needs to be executed in a specific way, and it's hard to adapt halfway. Warlock's just going to become, like, he's going to become half a hero, because honestly, there's just a lot of, I like talking about conditionals sometimes, right? Where it's like, okay, what type of settings that can appear in the game is my hero going to be useful in? And that's what's really interesting about drafting, is that heroes obviously have different strengths and weaknesses. Some games, Warlock looks incredible and, like, broken. But can you force those conditions to happen by going Roche or by showing up at towers? And that's where I'm looking to Tundra here to see, now that they've picked this Darkseer who can both do team fighting but also play really fast around the map and do all this skirmish style with Ion Shell, to me that shows like Tundra are either not going to take the team fight at all, or if they do, they want to make it like chaotic and they want to get a wall illusion of the Luna.
I have a question.
And speaking...
Sorry, quick question. MVP Phoenix in the past ran Warlock mid. Is there any scenario where Armen...
There actually is. There actually is.
not.
It's one of the heroes he plays, but I just don't think it's a winning strategy.
I think that would be a mistake as
I think
well.
it's a bad Warlock mid game.
Yeah,
It's going to get abused by Spirit Break.
Yeah,
Just wanted to tick the box there.
Yeah, but it's true. They could do that.
That's a good question. But yeah, speaking of forcing the 5-man, Tundra's draft is very good at picking up heroes on the sidelines, right? You've just got Spirit Breaker and Monkey King. Monkey King can just set up in the trees, give that vision. Yeah, Beastmaster might be able to scat him out, but his hawks can't be everywhere, right? You can just set up with Monkey King, charge with the Spirit Breaker, maybe get a quick pick with the Ion Shell and then just leave, right? Because you don't want to play into Nigma Galaxy's 5-man yet early on into the game. So they've already got that going for them in that they can pick and choose because they can push out all of these lanes with Darkseer's Ion Shell and never be in a situation where they might have to meet them head on. Also, Monkey King and Spirit Breaker, both heroes who benefit very greatly from an Ag's Darkseer. So that could be something that we're looking at here, actually. He doesn't have to play for these aura items. He can just go for that early Ags if he chooses to.
That seems like a stable mid, Lena. How would she do if that Spirit Breaker turns out to be mid, or are we just expecting this last pick to be the 149? The PA comes out.
Okay, so Lena is a very well-rounded hero in that she only really needs 2 items to be effective, and those items are BOTs and BKB. And when she has those, she has wave clear, she has the ability to rotate early, she has the ability to split push and join fights, right? So she does come online very early, and we were talking about Nigma Galaxy's desire to maybe play for objectives or 5-man early on. So she does fit into that well. She is susceptible to dying early on, but
yes,
that's the issue when you pick Lena. Do they have heroes that can jump her and blow her up? And with this PA, they've picked something that can kill her through the BKB even. We were talking about that BKB being conditional for effectiveness. Boom.
Yeah.
Got the hero.
So I think I get where Nigma were coming from here with this Lena pick, because they didn't know the mid matchup yet. They needed to get something open-ended that doesn't get abused too much, and it's probably something they've been talking about, like, okay, what are we going to grab for him in? I'm not too sold on this hero with their lineup, to be honest, and I think picking it into Spirit Breaker Darkseer is very dangerous. Lena is susceptible to running into small feeding sprees, and this hero suffers a lot from dying. It's very tempo-based. If you die 3 or 4 times early mid-game, you fall off very quickly. So I'm honestly quite concerned about this last pick, Lena.
But on the other hand, you could say that if she does hit her item timings and get that early MKB, then PA is
they can be strong.
Yeah, PA is in danger of joining these fights versus an early MKB Lena. It's just that I don't want to call out anybody, but I just feel like Nigma Galaxy's gameplay right now isn't as polished as Tundra's, so I feel like Tundra will have an easier time executing their job.
I think that game is harder to play too. I think the Nigma strategy is going to require some finesse.
And does that mean that we're sticking to the theme of the day, where tempo is important on the side of Team Nigma in this case?
I would say tempo is important, but I don't feel like that's where they struggled. It felt like they struggled a bit with their early game and their lanes. So if they can make sure those don't go disastrously, they can actually set the tempo if they wanted to.
All right, let's see if they can survive the lanes and maybe get even a little bit of a head start out of that. That's what we're going to find out together with our commentary team. It is Odie Pixel and Tigov.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, Nigma Galaxy versus Tundra. As we're getting into this one, T, we've heard the panel's thoughts and feelings about this. What do you reckon going into this game one? Do you like what you see?
I kind of do, because like you have one side, you've got Spirit Breaker mid, and it's finally the return of the hero into the mid lane since, you know, the Zhao era when he was standing for PSG. And also Tundra has fully subscribed to this hero being in the mid lane. So they picked the Darkseer to enable it. They've got the layered damage with the PA behind. So yeah, it's an exciting draft from Tundra. But also on Nigma, you've got Warlock being picked, where I double checked like the pro pubs.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd least played hero in like competitive pub games, sorry. So like 7k plus MMR, it's only 113 games.
Is that expected? Like when you sort of see that hero in that position, you're like, well, you know what? This hero probably is more viable than people seem to be dealing with it, or are you like, this hero is kind of hard to execute?
It's very much one of those hard to execute heroes, just because the way in which Dota's progressed, it's high-paced, collapse lanes quickly, play off of skirmishing spells. If you have bigger cooldowns, you need to make sure that you utilize them cleanly. And of course, in pubs, that's really hard to execute, so probably the hero isn't too favored. But even competitively, like, we barely see the hero, and it is because, like they mentioned on the panel, the ultimate's like 170 seconds. It's so hard to connect that perfect golem to reinitiate to get that fight going. So yeah, we are gonna see.
Look at that sticker.
That's a banging sticker.
My goodness. Oh, there we go. Action is kicking off here. As Skeeter, he's going to be fine here. We'll take a bit of damage on his way to lane it. Kuro runs him down. Actually, well, Kuro was really going for it there. They'll turn and kill him off for that one. That'll be first blood there for Snaking. As, I admire Kuro's aggression. You know, he's like, I got this PA, shadow work down on Skeeter. I'm going to go and punch him in the face as well. ends up falling flat on his face.
Yeah, this is how strong PA is, because of course, you have the Dagger Slow, the Oove, then the Spring as well. Even though the Warlock had a stick, a fairy, and the Hill, you're not going to be surviving V3 heroes.
No.
You respect the gusto.
Yeah, he was going for it, Kuro.
Yeah.
I like it. That's what I want to see, some aggression, some action this game. So we get some more of that.
And you see, they've kind of shifted into the idea as well, because they put the Warlock in the off lane as well, moved away from the classic Weaver being the 4 position. Of course, Croaky is 5, but you put the Hill, Bane, PA lanes, or PA +1. It's all about poking the enemy down. When they're half HP, that's when you jump them and you try and punish them. You put a Warlock on that lane, the whole kill threat of Bane PA is completely gone, right? So I actually kind of like it, as long as Mind Control can accelerate his timing to get a point where he has armor. Right now, he has no armor items in his inventory, but if he does go for the helm, or at least like a casual buckler, something like that, they will be able to free farm up here.
Yeah.
But
look at this aggression. They see exactly when they can try and get aggressive onto Mind Control. He will be fine this time round. Heal comes through from Shadow Word. Same time on the other side of the map, Nigma Galaxy will get themselves a kill. Top lane Skeeter trying to jump in for Kuro. Again, not enough damage to take either of them down, but still bullying them back, giving themselves some space to hit the creeps. But yeah, they got the kill down bottom there. GH was able to pick that one up.
yeah, so what happened in bot lane, it was GH when he hit level 2, he did have his Swarm available, so he was able just to chase down, unlike most supports who go for the Germinate attack, picking up Swarm at 3. Kind of a surprising skill build, did kind of catch Tundra off guard there. But yeah, early on, Nigma trying to poke and prod a little bit, and of course we haven't mentioned it much, but we are going to be seeing RMN on this mid laner. His type of game is going to be that Yule's BKB-esque frontlining style hero that can just pump out the damage, and Nigma's looking to play out their lanes, get that Roshan, and then send it into Tundra. Like if they pause or wait at any moment in this game, and PA gets Battle Fury Deso +1, it's only Beastmaster with the Raw that's going to be able to prevent the PA from having a free game. And of course, Spirit Breaker as well, just charging on through. So
We'll see. Fado and Kuro trading hits here in the jungle. See who's able to win this off here. Kuro, yeah, we'll start to back off now. The Shadow Word comes to an end, but Fado will have that Nightmare. Now the jump over from Skeeter. Looks like Kuro's pretty dead. Skeeter able to pick up a kill in this top lane, get himself back to the creeps. Bottom lane, aggression onto Snake King, but a quick surge from 33 gets Snake King away from the two of them. Farm-wise down here, RTW having final time, 16-4. No struggle here on the CS in the bottom lane.
And also mid going pretty well as well. Like Lina is actually a really good hero against Spirit Breaker because you play on range, which gives you enough time early on. The speed of charge doesn't allow you to connect before Lina can stun you with the LSA. And also you just wave clear. But the fact that the CS is pretty even, it's faring pretty well for Spirit Breaker, not really getting too zoned out right now.
I'll see them trying to poke at Fada, but these two heroes on their own right now can't really kill Fada off. They'll come over to the small camp, but again, this is space for Skeeter, so he's going to be happy. Bottom lane, another attempt onto Snake King. It's time round. Oh, he's going to be fine.
Very close.
Quick little dodge takes the bug off him. Snake King will be able to reset. Once again, 33. Some nice surges to keep his support alive.
Charging
He's in the RMN.
Oh, see?
He's in a bit of a deep position. Snake King going in with the spring. Snake King, he's got the stick charge. He's actually going to...
Will he dodge it?
Oh, he does! Snake King turns with the stun, dodges the damage.
Charging 2.
He needs a... No, he's going to have this. Top of the bashes as well. Oh, that's unfortunate for RMN. 9. I mean, that was beautiful moves from Snake King, popping over to the mid like that. Sees RMN obviously in a very deep position now. He was up on the high ground on the enemy mid. And yeah, Snake King punishing it perfectly on minimal HP. Top lane, Mind Control. He'll throw the axes out, but nothing to stop Skeeter and Fada running him down, as they'll get themselves the kill.
But that's one of those... Oh, I just realized that they're using the Seb spray at Mind Control. Just play like Seb, mate. Oh,
see, that's what's going on here. The mind games. Mid lane, RMN, that's not his tower. But he was under it. He was having a great start. The CS, the laning was going great. This is 2 times now where RMN sort of found himself on the wrong side of the river.
And right now, what we're seeing here from Snake King is it's a perfect example of when you don't have the resources to play the lane, but you have enough to just enables someone else to take the fight.
Brilliant
you don't
stuff.
have to run straight back to base, right? The fact that he stayed in the area, knew that 9 had kill threat.
And that he
led
could
the
get
stuff.
bashes, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the skilled part of the hero, please. But yeah, just the fact that Snaking was able to kind of just keep himself active on the map when realistically the call there from Nigma was, Monkey's back to base, he's off map for 15 seconds, don't worry about him, right? That's why RMN's probably playing a little bit more aggressive, but no, just really playing the limits of his hero right now, and runs back to mid and of course gets the kill once again.
They've got to watch out for these snaking movements. Been nice. So that's 33 on his own down bottom, but of course he's been able to pick up farm. Top lane. See them trying to going to get onto Fada, but these two just aren't really the killers that they want to be right now, Kuro and Mind Control. They're not going to get that sort of action. Mid lane, he's on the watch again. Snaking, he's got his eyes on RMM.
Yeah, they just toggled the vision right now for Nigma, and it is rather difficult for them right now. They're playing against heroes like Spearbreaker and Monkey King, and the map is complete darkness as 9 connects onto his charge bottom.
He's got his ult in a second as well. And here it comes. Knocks back RTW. That'll be the Luna gone. GH, he's going to get caught by the Balance Strike and the Vacuum. Going to surge up 9. Does he want to dive in for this? Snaking's going to start tanking the tower hit so 9 can get in and help set up to pick up both kills off the back of that rotation.
Yeah, and this is where Tundra's kind of punishing the drafts of Nigma right now. Because they don't have these cheap stuns that can move quickly around the map, they are falling victim to, if Spearbreaker moves, unless they use multiple TPs to an area, they are just going to be ran down. And just playing underneath their towers is like the best bet, but you can't at 7 minutes ask, can you only farm in the tower, please? Like, that isn't really playing Dota, and that's why Tundra really is trying to use everything here.
Fada. He's going to go straight for the TP out, and he's going to make it out of there. The 3 of Nigma Galaxy coming to try and finally be able to punish him, and still unable to do so. And TPs are going to be pretty big this game. Of course, with the Lina picked up at the end, in addition to the stuns that they do have, but 2 of the major lockdowns the Nigma Galaxy are going to rely on are going to be those long cooldown ultimates. So heads up, escape there from Fada.
With the start that they've had on Spearbreaker and PA, you'd also argue that these heroes need a little bit more time to come online. And Nigma's best strategy would be, okay, lanes aren't going great, let's at least group up to hit an objective. But now that you've also got a slightly farmed Spiritbreaker, Darks is having a very good time, he's nearly about to be top 3 net worth as well. Like, Tundra can defend any objective, so Nigma have entered a pretty awkward part of the game where they need to either accept that they farm on the towers or make a smoke into a pickoff and then try and get a tower from that. But yeah, right now, it's Tundra's game to make the next move.
RMN, he's stepping up to the wrong side of the river again. The Snaking, he's ready to help with the backup. In with the slow onto RMN. They perfectly dodged the light strike array. That's going to be RMN going down. Snaking, he's saving the boundless strike. They might actually have the lockdown and control to kill GH as well. The detection comes out a little bit late though. Won't allow 9 to land the ult there, as GH does make it away. But again, RMN dying around this mid area.
Oh, that's the beautiful thing. Offer up the high five during the charge, of course. Just to, yeah, see if anyone's there.
2k lead now for Tundra. Certainly starting to heat up there. 3 cores in the top spot. RTW. Oh, it's back over to the triangle. He's playing it safe, trying to get his farm up and hit that timing that it's going to allow him to push with the team.
This stat just reminded me a beautiful thing. So with Spiritbreaker, you actually can right-click while charging. So if you're bugged, you can kill the bug during your charge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of an interesting interaction.
As Mind Control does die top. It also applies for anything. So if you're charging over a ward, you can deward it.
Oh, they're going to get another. Dropping down the Seb spray as well, as he points a finger to the death of Kuroki.
They're just struggling to take the fight right now. You know, like, Tundra they perfectly identify this. Like, try and theory craft a fight for Nigma right now. How do they take a fight?
It's tough.
If Beastmaster roars, they need Lina to be there with damage and they need Swarm. And then Luna and Warlock aren't really providing much right now. They're somewhat level dependent heroes, Luna obviously item dependent. But it's like you need the entirety of Nigma to be present to kill that single hero. And then you layer that with things like Primal Spring on Monkey King, Bulldoze on Spiritbreaker, the Surge. There's so many mechanisms for Tundra to punish this weakness in the draft right now that this is their biggest moment in the game to just punish Nigma. Like, of course, Nigma, their heroes will scale. They will be able to take a fight going into, areas with vision, when they have spells, when they have the kind of the vision. But again, right now, this is just Tundra really knowing that just what they can do with their heroes.
So RTW was able to clean up some nice stacks. So he's catching back up with the farm. Not too far behind that of Tundra's, but as you say, definitely timing still the concern here for Nigma Galaxy.
Yeah, and because GH has been playing into this safe lane, somewhat sacrificial as well. Like, he's only just completing his urn. He's now trying to farm up, but we now get to finally see potentially Nigma trying to make their first move of the game as they move towards top. I wouldn't be surprised if Tundra just bring every hero to this defense. They don't want to give up towers when they're 10 for 1 up.
So we go for GH here. Have they got enough damage before a time lapse? They do. GH goes down. The siege creep pushing in. Tundra can stick around and try to take this tower. Nigma Galaxy looking for objectives on the other side of the map, though, and they've got very good pushing power themselves, of course, with LTW and mind control. They'll deal with the tier 1 tower very quickly, and this is what you kind of need to see their lineup do right, Nigma Galaxy, as you said. When they do group up, they have got a lot of synergy, but RMN steps up to the high ground. Tundra are more than ready for that one, waiting for him in position as Fada immediately grips the Lina.
Yeah, unfortunately for RMN, he is kind of stepping up a little bit aggressive multiple times now. Just trying to get a little bit more farm on the map because, again, it's so difficult where Luna's soaking up everything.
Sure.
We've got farming bottom. Like, where does Lina farm right now? Like,
it's hard, yeah.
I respect him trying to, get that extra camp, be a little bit more cheeky, but Tundra's reading that pretty well. They go for top tower. Because they used an op bottom, they're like, okay, let's not bother defending top. Let's still play the air in case they make that play, and yeah, they are just ready for it. But people might be looking at RMN right now like, why are you dying? But if you look at the minimap, there is no farm to have. This map is very small right now.
Go for GH, but this time round without the ultimate of 9, they don't have the ability to lock him down completely.
Oh, I love the fact that pro players have evolved the build for Spirit Breaker, because when it initially was popularized by Zhao 8, it was always Echo Saber. The concept of, you have this Echo, you might disassemble for BKB, you want to lock onto a hero, right-click them, but it's about getting in and out of the fight. It's about being a nuisance. Utilize bulldoze, make sure their vision feels small because they're wasting sentries on you, make their economy feel bad because you're so hard to kill them. You just go Phase, Shadowblade, maybe an Ags, a BKB, and then the rest of your team will carry you because you're just such a nuisance. Yeah, big fan of that.
Oh, they're trying to get him from this angle again, Nigma Galaxy. It's not easy, though. And they know this time the two of them, GH and Mind Control, will back off. And GH trying to scout things out. Skeeter.
He's going to get him.
Are they going to be able to find him? He's over to the creeps. They are not able to set things up with Aurora there as Skeeter gets out in time.
But instantly, they draw the line on the minimap. They're like, guys, just let's run to mid. We have Golem. We have everything we need to at least try and take a fight. They're farming the map. You got Monkey showing bottom, PA showing top.
Yeah, and they'll get fired up. But a big charge for 9 comes crashing in onto the two of them. Wall's been dropped down as well. IOTW just gets caught at the front of it. That's the Luna gone. 9 staying on top of RMN, pushing him back. Skinner jumps in over towards Kuroki. RMN will turn with the Light Strike Array and the Laguna Blade. 9 trying to run out to the side. He's ticking down low. He will fall, but they've lost 3 on Nigma Galaxy. Back in the river, Mind Control, he'll pop the roar. GH comes shikuching across, but there's not nearly enough damage to kill Skeeter. As Skeeter, he's still good to go. Jumps in, picks up the triple kill onto Mind Control. Only GH left alive, and not for long. Tundra, they get the team wipe against Nigma Galaxy.
You see Nigma there, right? They're like, guys, they're showing bottom, they're showing top. Let's give it a go. They get the kill on the Bane. That's good, but the positioning of the Luna deep next to the tier 1 tower, gets hit by the wall vacuum, and then at that point, you don't have the kind of positioning to take a secondary fight. Nigma, they're either crushing you within the time in which Golem gets dropped, or they're running away, retreating from the constant threat.
Have a look at it here.
Exactly. So you see here at the start, you have RMN, he gets slept up, but he catches Fada. It's looking pretty good. But this early on in the game, very easy for supports to buy back. 2-man charge from 9, and as soon as RTW is hitting that tower, you know it's a difficult position. He's completely disconnected from his team, and now Nigma, they have nothing in the tank. They're not ready to take the secondary fight. They were hoping for a quick pick into tower, but of course, Tundra, they're just quick to react. They show 2 side lanes, but they collapse within mid within, 5 seconds. The speed in which they came to mid didn't allow Nigma this kind of cheeky play. It was a very bold play. Like, this is very much like a 25% chance of success play from Nigma, but they have to take it with how small their map is right now.
Oh man, these time is now 33. Aghanim's done. We saw as well in that fight, of course, the sort of build-up from Skeeter, very effective this game. Isn't this the AFK Battle Fury build, the Maelstrom into the BKB? He's getting involved, and again, the farm is just rolling in for him now. 17-3, 15 minutes in. only, I say only pretty lightly, but, 4K lead, it's not the end of the world. ILTW's farm is still up there with the other 2 cores on that of Tundra. But the rest of his team still has to catch up behind him at 9. A bit of a poke.
But this is why the Shadowblade Rush is so fun on the hero, right? You charge on in, you make sure you use Bulldoze as you're about to connect, don't use it early on for more move speed, and then you just Shadowblade away. It's like, whoop, I'm here. You gotta use some vision to find me, and yeah, it's so scary. And like we mentioned the idea that, Luna does have to farm, but that's at the sacrifice of other heroes now losing gold, right? Like Beast and Lina, they're sacrificing their own ability to farm just to try and give RTW some access to the fight. And they really need to hope that Tundra tries to make a play right now.
Oh, here we go. Fada. He's gonna be gone upon, and he will die. They get the kill, they step out. At the Wukong's command, they won't be punished for that one. So Nigma Galaxy able to pick up a kill, and maybe with 1 man down, they can look towards the mid lane. But 9, he's going to start heading straight into the front of this fight. Light Strike Ray will be dodged. 9 steps out of this as he pops the illusion rune. And sort of just charging in at Nigma Galaxy, showing them. But even though they may be down a member on Tundra, they're not going to let this tier 1 tower fall.
Well, they have the Ags on Darkseer to enable the Spirit Breaker. And I think Nigma right now, they're like, guys, Bane doesn't have buyback. He used it in the last time. We might try it, but they're just respecting the Spirit Breaker right now. Like, all Spirit Breaker has to do is hit a 2-3 man charge. PA will always be able to blow up that hero connected to that, and it's a wall on top. It is so scary to hit a tower in this game if you're Nigma, unless you had that good early lead. But that's why they're being disciplined, right? They're not going straight back at it. They're hitting the farm. They're waiting, because there will be a point where Tundra potentially could overextend, right? With heroes like PA, Monkey, Spirit Breaker, they're either in the fight or not, right? Like if they jump in incorrectly one time, they don't have this instant disconnect mechanism, right? Unless maybe PA has an Ags to get a kill and reset, or Spirit Breaker has the BKB available, right? So maybe Nigma can play for that.
They're trying to set up top onto Fada, but it is just a Bane, and that Bane has got backup. Fada will die, but this is going to cost them at least Mind Control's life. It's going to cost them both of their lives, as that is not a trade that Nigma Galaxy want to be taking.
Yeah, pretty rough. And then instantly 9 just starts invading the triangle with 2 big killers down for Nigma. There is no way they can take a real fight, so 9 just plonks his face in.
And with Skeeter backing him up, they can get the kill. No struggle at all. Tundra, I mean, just like that, they pick up all 3 cores of Nigma Galaxy within seconds from the top lane to the triangle.
And the beautiful thing is, like, look at the minimap, the vision from Tundra. It's not as if they have a deep, dire ward in this triangle, right? It's simply the product of, guys, they're dead, run into the fog, run into this darkness and try and find anyone. If they're there, they will die. So, yeah, just Tundra just playing with the confidence that we saw them play with last week. And it's why they are quite a scary team right now, with, I think, easily probably top 2 seed in the European region right now, just based on performance thus far. Yeah,
just and saw the trajectory they've been on from last season. Sure, we didn't see them at TI, but they got close to it, and the improvement and progression of this squad has looked very impressive, and we'll continue to see it here. As so far, 18 minutes in, looking to be in pretty good control of this game. I'll see what Nigma Galaxy can do to shake it up. They're trying again around this mid lane. Skeeter's got the BKB. He's ready to commit in. The Roar will come out to hold Skeeter back for now, but here comes the backup from 9. Swinging across straight in onto RMN. RMN to fall, and now Tundra, they're ready to chase for more. They've got their eyes on Mind Control. Over in the mid, Nightmare controlling GH. Mind Control gets finished off by Skeeter. The bash is coming onto GH. 3 dead, as again, Tundra showing no difficulty turning up to the fights around this mid lane. As Skeeter continues to go from strength to strength, 11k net worth, still 3k ahead of that of ILTWs at just 19 minutes in. Everything continuing to look pretty up here for Tundra.
Yeah, Tundra was very much just understanding that they win any fight, right? I don't think we need to sugarcoat this anymore. Nigma right now, they have nearly no ways to be able to hit an objective with confidence when there's the threat of the charge, this wall, and the amount of farm that they have. And of course, Monkey King had the Orchid as well. Just, the final straw on the camel's back there. So it very much is Nigma, they need to just somehow push out the waves. When you say this in a cast, it's a rough point in game. They need to push out waves, hope for a pickoff, and just survive through the Aegis. Like, that is...
I mean, Snaking's getting a little bit of solo action pretty much. Why not? Skeeter Wolf coming to finish off the job. Yeah, with that Orchid causing issues here as Mind Control continues to have his game it's just completely ruined here pretty much. I mean, you see on the net where Snake King as the support Monkey King, he's just about to overtake Mind Control in gold this match. We're seeing some crazy numbers elsewhere as well. You know, Skeeter, look at his levels, level 18. You know, I don't think there's anyone anywhere close to that on Nigma Galaxy side right now. He is so far ahead in the XP. Yeah, closest, ILTW level 14.
Yeah.
Skeeter is massive.
And then you look at his poor old Bane level. I just hit level 10. Okay, cool, hitting double digits, but yeah, everyone else is 15 plus, and poor old Bane, 7k damage. Luna though, little 2.9, looking a bit shy here.
It's been a
rough one.
Not been able to find the opportunities to pop off in the fight so far, LTW.
Not yet, but with the BKB,
Yep.
hopefully for Nigma, if Tundra again overextend, don't have BKBs available, Eclipse can be that turnaround factor, but Tundra just need to be disciplined with how they use their aggression because they have it in the bucket loads right now.
They've got to be careful around this too on tower defense. Tundra more than ready to jump in onto Nigma Galaxy.
Another thing as well we didn't mention is this is a Warlock game.
RMS steps up. He's gone immediately. Skeeter jumps in, takes him out. The wall's been dropped down. Nigma Galaxy's got to run. RTW bolts the BKB, but they're in with the damage. The Raw will hold back Skeeter, but the grips there from Fada, locking down ILTW. He goes down as well in the tier 2 tower. 33. They're ready to run up to the tier 3s. They're charging in Tundra. No mercy from them as they dive in. Triple kill for Skeeter.
Nice.
It's getting messy, T. It's getting messy. When you see them dive in tier 3s, the tier 1's still up in the mid lane, but
what can they
Tundra's
do?
just going in, and it seems nothing right now. 28 to 5.
15k up as well. Like poor old Kuroki. He just sees RMN 100 to 0. He sees his Luna get gripped. He's like, boys, do you want me to golem? Oh, wait, if I golem, you're still dead. Like, it is so difficult, and I'm in absolute love with how Nine is playing the Spirit Breaker right now. The Shadow Blade, absolute nuisance, thrown in their side, instantly BKB, not messing around with any of these other items, just be the unkillable threat, get into the middle of the fight, and enable the aggression. Enable Snake King to get that good spring, get the Orchid off, and give the confidence of PA of going, wait, you've soaked up the damage, I can then jump in as well. Because if Raw's wasted, if Golem's wasted, it's an absolute
bottom lane
free game. Oh, here's the damage.
Oh, they jump in. The golem's going to be dropped, but ILTW's been focused by Skeeter. Can Skeeter finish him off? Jumps in the bash, and there he can. Skeeter gets the kill. He will lose his life for this, but he's got the Aegis. He's ready for round 2, and the backup comes in. Snake King drops the ultimate.
They're going to dive.
Oh, they're diving up to the tier 3s again. In with the bashes onto Mind Control. Mind Control steps back, turns with the axes, but RMN goes down. It's not looking pretty here for Nigma Galaxy as Mind Control's just trying to hide in the trees.
Oh.
He won't be able to stay hidden. They'll find him. Kuro, can he survive this? He can't. The vacuum's there, dragging him back out and into the face of Skeeter as Skeeter claims another life.
Absolute beautiful aggression from Tundra. But, you know, let's give a little bit of praise to the Warlock there. He did do 2.5k damage in that fight. And we did see the effects of Fatal Bond slightly. You know, the idea that Tundra, they all got put to like 25%, 20% HP due to the kind of the tickling damage, the bonds hitting on 4 or 5. There are 4 melee heroes on Tundra. But again, it's a little bit late. You know, I'm kind of sugarcoating this a little bit just to, you know, get through that fight for Nigma. But I can see why maybe the Warlock's working out, but the weaknesses of Warlock are way more present right now. The inability to actually take any of these defensive engagements is very clear, and yeah, Tundra, 33 kills to 5.
It's a scary looking scoreboard.
Who's died on? 3 deaths for Fada. Okay.
RMN. It's got to be another one here. Over in the mid. They find Fada. See if they can get him. Meanwhile, Silence Grips on RTW. I think we might be seeing the G's.
There
and
it is.
Are.
2 of them. Clean.
We are. There we go. GG. 24 minutes in. It was another rough one. Of course, Nigma Galaxy, they're not playing with their full lineup right now. RMN standing in for Miracle. But even so, it's rough. This was quite the beatdown. Tundra, another very impressive game to add to sort of their performances. And if I was Nigma Galaxy, I would be feeling pretty scared going into game 2.
Yeah, I think the main thing for Tundra is they play with this level of confidence where they know exactly how they want to utilize the heroes that they have. And they have this flexibility in the draft where they pick the Spirit Breaker.